pretend that his computer was lagging.
Hello and welcome back to the Last Place Fantasy Football Podcast. Ryan is uncoordinated, thus the downfall of his O-line career, which is a perfect segue because Ryan, we're talking about O-line and tight ends today. Yeah, the smallest center in Springfield High School football history.
And yet I got an honorable mention at state.
So. It was a pity mention. They didn't have another center.
You were just
but to be honest, I was the smallest center. I was the smallest center in our conference. And I had two towering, now this is 8-man football, but I had two towering like 6 foot, I was like 6'2" or 6'3", like 300-pound linemen next to me as guards. And I was 5'9", a $185. So I was
like
almost
an elite
half their weight.
Center. Elite center.
So
I was a chopping center, literally. Like when I'd get up against like guys that were bigger than me, I would just go for the legs. That's it. That's all I could do, really.
You call that quick mango. Quick mango.
But I was effective. So
okay, can we talk about all right. 8-man. Wait, so Ryan was 8-man football. Ethan, were you 8-man football too?
No. I'm a city boy. So I played 11-man.
Good.
Yeah, I played out in the boonies.
No, I'm just kidding.
So.
Yeah, he played in nowhere, Colorado. I played with the big dogs.
What was the main difference between 8-man and 11 besides
no tackles?
Oh,
no tackles is
almost like arena football.
So it's the linemen are a center and 2 guards. And that's about it.
I see. Yeah. That's interesting. Because that concept of like 8-man football was just not known to me until I got to Texas. So that's
6-man football, so tough.
I've heard it's
linemen.
Tough,
linemen are considered like tight ends almost.
Yeah, it's
like they don't do much blocking.
You have to be like
it's pretty much 7-on-7.
Yeah, you pretty much have to be like a D and tight end combo.
Yeah. So it's crazy. Well, you
started
it.
Well, I mean,
just a little bit.
If y'all made it through that tangent, welcome again to the Last Place Fantasy Football Podcast. I am Josh, along with my co-host Ethan and Ryan, and welcome again to the 4th episode of Rookie Week, where we are talking about tight end and O-line. And to which everyone in the metaverse is replying, why are you talking about O-line? Really, and especially with these, like, I guess this specific group of players, it's tight ends, especially when it comes to fantasy, very rarely do you see a year 1 and year 2 kind of like relevance. You're usually going to see
unless your name is Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, unless your name is Kyle Pitts or Mark Andrews. If you're a top 5 tight end, you had year 1 or year 2 relevance. If you don't, you're definitely getting like the impact in year 3 or year 4, or so on and so forth. It's just that I guess the best way to describe it is just being a college tight end versus being an NFL tight end is very different.
Yeah.
Very different.
Well, I mean, until recently, they really hadn't been used a whole lot. I mean, Kelsey was kind of the turning point for that.
Well, I mean,
Kittle.
I go further. Gronk is the turning point, in my opinion.
True.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, he was the first.
It was never like, oh, we have to have a tight end. I think
because there was like Shannon Sharp before that, but I mean,
that is way back of a
Winslow.
What a Denver reference of all.
Okay, all right.
So there's Shannon Sharp. You got your Todd
Kellen Winslow.
Yeah, Kellen Winslow. Jeremy
and for
Shockey,
Baltimore,
Greg Olson,
Shockey,
Gates, Tony Gonzalez. Got to bring him up. Antonio. Gates,
greatest tight end of all time, Tony Gonzalez.
And Jimmy Graham too.
Until
he wasn't great.
He had a really good.
He was there. He had a couple good
until
years.
he went.
He had like
to
2
Seattle.
good years. Yeah.
And then especially when Gronk got into the picture, then the tight end position really like took a hold of like, oh no, this is a very
started being
important
fantasy
position.
relevant. Yeah,
definitely started being fantasy relevant, and now we're talking about tight ends and telling you which rookie tight ends to look out for.
Yeah, there's like 5.
Which I would say, look, if we're not talking about fantasy, if we're talking about just football, this is a very good tight end class.
Yeah.
But when it comes to
so
fantasy,
a lot of these guys are going to be blockers. So
yeah. But when it comes to fantasy, there's like 3 to 5 that we're really only going to talk about.
Yeah, but let's talk about the first one. Let's talk about Trey McBride.
Mr. McBride.
Drafted to the Arizona Cardinals with the 55th pick in the NFL draft, coming from Colorado State. Now, I asked everyone, basically, I think the de facto tight end 1 in this draft class.
Oh, yeah. By far. I mean, this dude is massive.
Massive, can catch the ball, blocks really well. Like, he is a great all-around tight end. And I think he goes into
season.
I think he's in a really good position too.
Yeah, I love where he got drafted to, because I don't think he's going to get a ton of playing time in Arizona, but
especially sitting behind Ertz.
Ooh, well, I disagree.
Well, I mean, I know they're going to give the bulkhead to Ertz. They will bring him in. He will be used, but
they may end up doing 2 tight end sets.
So and I totally see that happening.
I don't think he'll have fantasy relevance till maybe the later end of round 1, but I think he is a break glass in case of emergency. We've seen Zach Ertz not be like fully relevant, especially when it comes to injury. So that's where it's like, ooh, keep your eye out on Trey McBride. But I think Arizona really does want to go back to the 2 tight end sets, especially since you lose one of your receivers for PEDs, unfortunately. And so, and yeah, that still hurts, honestly. But another kind of thing
But if you have DeAndre Hopkins towards the back half of the year, he's going to be a fantasy monster.
Oh, absolutely.
I think he's pissed at the league. I think he's pissed at how it went down. Honestly, I don't think he did it. Like, and I'm just going to throw that out there. I don't think he did it. I don't know what came up on the test, but something, because he's one of those guys who's super careful about like nutrition and how he trains and everything. So I don't know what it was specifically. They haven't come out publicly with like, oh, he tested positive for this. But I don't know. I would love to know what he tested positive for.
I would say I would be shocked if it was a straight up performance enhancing drug.
Yeah.
I definitely think it was think it was something where it's unaware that it was in this like supplement or anything like that. And then,
I'm sure it's a supplement type thing. Yeah.
Like eating a poppy seed muffin or something.
Oh yeah, it's my favorite. But I think they could have come down. Seasoning. I want to know what it was, because I want to know if like, 6 game totally warranted, or okay, 6 games is a bit much for taking this.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, and that's something that we'll have to see. Has he appealed it at all? Because
he appealed it, and they
denied it.
They denied.
Interesting.
Yeah, because this happened in the middle of the year last year.
No, this was it last year? I thought it was like
maybe November, right?
The article that I read, it was like in the middle of the year last year.
Well, I know he had a problem last year, but it was also this offseason is where he got suspended. Is they went in for their OTA drug testing. Well, no, he went in for like pre-OTA drug testing, and that's where it came up.
Weird.
Is for this season.
I don't know what article I read, but I thought.
Well, I know what you're talking about.
In the middle of the year last year.
It did, and I know what you're talking about. But this is a new thing that happened.
Gotcha.
I see. So that's why it's 6
Interesting.
Games. Okay, so that's something that we'll just have to take a look at, because that's actually
do a little more research.
Because the process is a little weird to me there. But back to Trey McBride.
I'm sad for being a D-Hop owner.
So, you're also a DK owner.
Yeah, I'm a D-Hop and a DK owner.
Good luck. Good luck with that. But so with Trey McBride, what I think is so interesting is y'all remember Cliff's first year and the wide receiver purgatory that happened?
Yeah.
Okay, so basically
all they had was Larry Fitz.
Yeah, literally. Yeah. That was the only receiver they had left. Just everyone got hurt. So what did they do? They started running 2 tight end sets, and what do you know? Kenyon Drake does really good. Yeah. I think they're going to have to go back to that, largely because for 2 straight years we have seen Cliff being Cliff and Arizona sucking both years in a row. And I think with James Conner, you have to go to that tight end, like 2 tight end set, just to at least give some variance into the formations and personnel that you are showing. And it creates a little bit more like mismatches for you, especially having the 2 bigger receiving tight ends, Ertz and now McBride. So I definitely think he's going to be on the field quite a bit. Now, fantasy relevance, I don't think it will be much to start, but I definitely think there could be a changing of the guard, like post bye week for Arizona.
Yeah, I mean, I think he'll score points.
Yeah, I think so. I'm of the same mind.
But I mean, how much? I don't know. Unless like Ertz got hurt and missed significant time,
I didn't have it as big either.
But yeah, I mean, he has good hands and he's intelligent. Like he's got high football IQ. He knows how to find grass. So I think he'll be good in the system. But as far as his usage, I mean, I guess we just have to wait and see. But that's kind of the joy of fantasy football. Just kind of wait and see what they do.
Yeah, and I would say with the preface with all tight ends, they are automatically draft and stash unless your name is Kyle Pitts.
Yeah.
Or even Fryermuth. Fryermuth was kind of an anomaly.
He kind of came, and Knox was the same way. Like they both just kind of came out of nowhere.
Well, no, Dawson Knox has had a couple of years under his belt, but even then, he's still not that consistent threat. Yeah, he's fancy. He's very tight end dependent.
Yeah,
I mean touchdown dependent. Sorry, he's very.
He did. Even though he was like, it took him a couple of years to get there. He came out of nowhere when he came up.
That's true.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure he was on everyone's waiver wire, and then it's like, who the frick is Dawson Knox?
Mm-hmm. And sometimes it takes them a couple of years to get used to the system and get into, get into the fit. So who knows?
Yeah. So
he may end up being tight end 1.
Yeah.
In a year or 2.
Who knows? Do you guys think he can be a top 5 or top 10 tight end in the future just based on the fit and the player? Does he have
just
that potential?
From talent, if he gets the opportunity, yeah. I think he could.
I believe so too. I don't know top 5, but I could definitely see top 10.
Yeah.
All right. Y'all ready for the next one? And one dude I think we're actually very high on, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun to see. Welcome to essentially Alley Cox with more athleticism, everybody. Jelani Woods, drafted to the Indianapolis Colts with the 73rd overall pick. Ethan, you are the highest on him with a 35.
I'm the highest on both of the top 2.
That is true. You actually gave McBride a 40, which I think is crazy.
Yeah. I love McBride. I love what he can bring. It might be a little overinflated, but I love McBride. I love Jelani Woods too. I mean, his tape was just bonkers. Like I loved watching his tape. And I'm not a big tight end guy, so don't ask me why I'm so big on these tight ends. But I love both of their tapes.
I really
and he can step in
Woods too,
because the Colts like to run 2 tight end sets. I would say either RIP Jelani Woods or RIP Jack Doyle.
Doyle's gone, if I'm not mistaken.
Is Doyle gone?
In which case, this is a perfect
replacement.
Yeah. Hold on.
I thought Doyle was still there.
Let's check.
I don't believe
I'll
so.
check. Okay, we got Alley Cox. Yeah.
Doyle retired.
He retired. Oh,
yeah. We got Andrew Ogletree.
Does that change your score?
Those are the only other ones.
Okay, so this is a great replacement then.
Yeah, it's a great replacement, and 2 6'7" tight ends.
Yeah, very big.
And I think with Jelani Woods, he just provides more receiving ability. So honestly, when I was like, the more I think about it, the more I realize I'm putting the fit and day 1 impact too low, in my opinion.
I completely agree. I think they're both going to be
same here.
Look,
I think I'm a little low
and high impact.
For everyone listening, I have him down as a 33.5, but by the time we talk about the big board in its entirety, I may have Jelani Woods higher, to be honest with you, because the more I think about it, here's where I'm getting kind of stuck up on, and I'm looking at my grading. If we're saying Alley Cox with more athleticism and more receiving ability, how is he not tight end 1?
That's true.
Well, I mean, I think Trey McBride is just that talented.
Oh, no, I'm saying tight end one on the
we're
Colts,
talking about
not like
Jelani
overall.
Woods.
Oh, on the
overall
Colts.
class.
Yeah.
My mistake.
No. Yeah, I'm with you now. Honestly, I think he has that potential to pass Alley Cox.
Yeah,
I really
very
do.
quickly, and
Because he's faster too.
Yeah, that's why I was like realizing it's like, why don't I have him graded higher? And I think so. I think by the time we talk about the big board, I think I'll definitely have a higher grade on him, especially because if you think about it, you have Alec Pierce, Michael Thomas. I mean, not Michael Thomas, Michael Pittman, different Michael. I'm messing everybody's name today. And so that's 2 receivers, 2 tight ends, and then your running back. So they're just going to be on the field, honestly. So I really like Jelani Woods. I believe he came from OK State before transferring to Virginia. And I just 2 very different systems, but I think his athleticism showed throughout both. He's a tower. He may be touchdown dependent in the beginning, but I think he has the potential to be a top 10 tight end as well, as long as he stays healthy.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I think he's a little bit better of a like route runner and receiver than Trey McBride, which could give him a lot more upside when he goes to Indy, especially Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan loves his tight ends. So I'm excited to watch them play.
Oh, yeah. And especially with Matt Ryan at quarterback now, too.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. So that's
a huge upgrade. You're getting a much better pass.
Huge upgrade.
The side note,
much better QB.
I'm saying is there's a lot of tight ends here. And I was like, oh, I really hate the quarterback. So I had to like adjust to that within my rankings as well.
Yeah, and can we talk about the disrespect that Matt Ryan got? Is he ranked? Was it tier 6 or tier 5 QB?
I don't know. I haven't checked on those.
I don't know. Where's the list at?
They just did it. I think it was ESPN or it was either ESPN or PFF. They just did theirs. It was on Bleacher Report.
Oh, hold on. Oh,
you can find it through Bleacher Report a lot faster. But they did essentially what they did is a tier ranking of all the quarterbacks for this year, and they absolutely disrespected Matt Ryan.
Oh yeah, he's in 3B. It's PFF, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's why I think the big issue with Matt Ryan, and when it comes to Pittman, when it comes to Alec Pierce, here's why I'm so much higher on them than I would say consensus, is because I do think Matt Ryan was given such a raw deal after 2016. Poor roster construction. Yes, he had Calvin Ridley, but it's not like the coaching was very good after Kyle Shanahan.
No, it was awful.
Yeah, he really didn't have anything after that.
And he basically was loyal. He kind of stayed with them, but man, his play kind of suffered because of it. I think he has a whole lot more in the tank. If anything that has diminished since that time, maybe just deep ball power, but that's about it. And I think when you get Frank Reich, when you have a dominant running back in Jonathan Taylor, 2 towers and Michael Pittman, and then you have Jelani Woods, Alley Cox, Alec Pierce as well. I think you will find a Matt Ryan resurgence. I am mark it right now. Matt Ryan will be either a QB2 or a low end QB1 this year.
I think he could sneak into the top 12.
I have him within the 10 to 15 range.
Yeah. He definitely
It just depends on how much they run the football, is what I would say.
Yeah.
True. Scheme, yeah. If they run the football like they did last year, which of course they had Wentz, so they kind of had to. But if they run the football like they did last year, I don't see him being in the top 15.
But that's the beautiful thing is because they don't have to just only run the football now.
Well, and that's why they picked him up. That's why they got rid of Wentz, is because they wanted somebody that they could throw,
Well, even then, the play action passing is going to be so much better compared to what it was.
Which is where he excels too.
Exactly. That's why I am very high on him.
I love him in the Frank Reich system. Just honestly, I think he's going to do so well.
Yeah, I think he's going to do well too.
Yeah.
And we all know I'm a Matt Ryan lover, so.
Yeah, you are.
Okay, guys. So we had Trey McBride, Jelani Woods as our 2 tight ends to talk about. who now this is where we start getting interesting when it comes to like difference makers. Who do you think is the next difference maker?
I agree. Josh, just go ahead and say it. You're already on top of it. Mr. Cade.
Cade Oton.
You guys are higher on him than I am. I would like to hear your case.
I love the fit. I love the value and I love the impact that he can bring to Tampa Bay. Especially with Gronk being still up in the air. Now, if Gronk comes back and re-signs with Tampa Bay, okay, I don't like it as much. But I mean, as of right now, without Gronk, I love the fit.
Yep.
And the tape was good. I mean, I didn't see anything bad on the tape. I mean, he is definitely probably a third round grade tight end, but I think there's a lot of potential there and a lot that Tampa Bay can do with him.
It's really just injury that was like killer. The reason I had such a lower grade on him is that so far in this offense, the only reason tight end is used so much is because of Gronk. And I just don't imagine like Cameron Breit or someone else getting that same type of love in that offense.
Yeah, and I can see that. And that's why it's so much of like a question mark. But I think, hypothetically, it could be a really good fit.
I kind of agree with Ethan right now on that, because with OJ Howard leaving, Gronk retiring, really his only competition is Cameron Breit. So I think he could make a splash if he really shows up and impresses TB12. Shoot, he could be treated as a Gronk. Who knows? He could get the ball thrown to him a lot. Never know.
Yeah, so I mean, really, I had him graded low just for day one impact, honestly. Like that's where.
Well, and they do have OJ Howard too, but
no, OJ Howard's gone.
Yeah, OJ and yeah, it's only listed. Cameron Breit.
Let me figure this out because I'm pretty sure OJ left.
Yeah, OJ Howard is up with the Bills right now, I think.
Oh, is he? They still have him on.
That is right, because we talked about like Dawson Knox going, what happened? But yeah, OJ Howard's with the Bills.
Yeah.
Oh, they still have him listed. I'm completely thrown. Well, yeah, I mean that is even better for him if he's trying to get a spot, and all you got to do is beat out Cameron Breit. Cameron Breit he's not a starting tight end.
I just don't think they're going to use the tight end as much as we think they will.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if Gronk doesn't come back, yeah, I can see that.
So that's the only reason why I was lower on him.
Also, I have Gronk. So Gronk, if you're listening to this for some reason, please come back. You'll never hear me say this again, but for right now, this is the one and only time you're ever going to hear me say this. Please come back. I need you.
We need sad music now.
Yeah, play the world's smallest violin in the background for me, please.
There you go.
Gronk, please. I'm nothing without you. What am I going to do at tight end?
Oh my God.
Well, we know what Ethan's doing with the 102 now.
Yep.
Trey McBride, come here. No, I will not be taking Trey McBride. I feel like I made it incredibly clear that I will be taking Drake London, but that's okay. As should you. But who do you have, Josh?
As far as a difference maker? As far as, I mean, the one I really do want to talk about is Chigo Okonkwo from Maryland.
That's where I was going to go next.
Just because I'll tell you, he blocked way better than I thought he did in a lot of the games that I watched, and he is such a receiving threat that I did not expect it. Now he's not like your typical like 6'5", 6'6" tight end, but he does have good size. He's much more of a move tight end, like your mix between H back and a Y. But I see Delaney Walker, I see Jonnu Smith with him, just a lot of left athleticism. He caught the ball really well. I think, especially for not only Malik Willis, but for also Ryan Tannehill, he is going to be used from the get-go. Because Ferkser left. I don't remember which team he went to, but he left the Titans. There is literally nothing in Tennessee right now. besides
Yeah.
Okonkwo.
Yeah. They've got Austin Hooper and Jeff Swaim.
Yeah, they did
So-
pick up Hooper.
Oh, they did pick up Hooper, which he has proven to be nothing when it comes
a
to
little
fantasy.
inconsistent outside of Matt Ryan.
Yeah, a little inconsistent, but he's way better as a run blocker. With
Yeah,
Okonkwo,
well,
I think
Cleveland
you
didn't
have,
really use him to what he could be.
that's also true.
Yeah.
But with Okonkwo, I think you can use him in a multitude of ways, and you can create a matchup problem.
Yeah,
Mhm.
no, I agree. I loved his tape. I agree. He's kind of like Jelani Woods, where like those are two kind of the receiving threat guys. I mean, Trey McBride can kind of do it all, but in terms of just receiving threat, it's pretty much these two. So he could do big things in Tennessee. It just depends on the reps they give him. I know Tennessee loves their tight ends too, so there could be a lot of potential there. But he's definitely a stash guy for sure. An undrafted stash. Don't
Yeah.
don't waste a pick on him.
No, yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely
I wouldn't.
He's a wait and see.
Now watch someone in our league take him in like the 4th round. I'm gonna be
Michaela?
so
What?
but
Yeah,
don't do it.
Michaela
Don't do it. Don't do it.
taking
It's okay.
Patrick
She's
Mahomes
not. She's
in the
not
first
listening.
round.
She's not listening. We can roast her. What a terrible team. Let's pull up her team. Let's see if she
No,
needs
no,
a
no,
tight
no,
end.
no.
Ethan,
Focus.
we have a podcast to record.
No, I want to kick this dead body.
No,
Oh, gosh.
oh, jeez. No, actually, the
At
other
least she
tight
did
end.
better than her brother.
That is
Oh,
true.
gosh.
That is true.
Leave poor Alex alone. He's taking enough strays.
Uh,
No, I'm pretty
so,
sure she has Mandrews though.
Yes, she does.
Michaela. Yeah.
So the only kind of there's actually 2 more tight ends I want to talk about just because I don't think they'll be difference makers, but I do find them very intriguing. And that's Greg Dulcich from UCLA, selected to Denver, and then Isaiah Likely. I kind of wanted to talk about. Dulcich, I
likely to bust.
So funny enough, I think I personally have Likely over Kohler, my opinion.
Really?
Yes,
Really?
because Kohler doesn't block, and I at least Likely blocks a little more.
Yeah. Okay. I
to
guess
where
I can
see Likely on the field faster than Kohler, but Kohler is definitely the Mark Andrews insurance. Whereas
Yeah,
Likely,
very much so.
he likely plays like a big receiver, and I can see that being very valuable in the red zone area. So I can see him being on the field there compared to Kohler. Now, as far as Dulcich, however, he was constantly going vertical at UCLA. My only problem I have with him is that a lot of his big plays were from the scheme, and like his separation was from the scheme and not from the player itself.
Yeah.
It was just he was finding the soft spot in zones. It was just spacing routes that he was just somehow to be wide open on, just how the play progressed. But it was never like I am one-on-one on this dude and I am going to burn you. And I never saw that with Dulcich whatsoever. So that's my only concern. I think he may just have a lot more developing to do, and at least he's behind Albert O to that kind of like help things out there. But that was my one little fear. Is like, ooh, I don't really like that from Dulcich.
No, I agree. I think you're spot on. Again, like we're not gonna know until we get probably outside of the preseason, especially on these tight ends. But
yeah, definitely. I mean, preseason is where they're gonna shine because they're gonna get a chance to actually get out on the field and play.
But I'm excited to watch the tight end class.
I'm very excited to watch the tight ends because as much as like, I mean, that's really, guys, that's kind of it on tight ends. There's a lot more people I'm really interested to see. One we didn't talk about was Grant Calcaterra, who was picked up in the 6th round, but he's a receiving option, but he's backing up Dallas Goedert. James Mitchell, a lot of people said was good. I didn't get around to him just because there was other tight ends I was focusing on, but that's by Friday I will definitely be looking up James Mitchell. Cole Turner I just see as Logan Thomas insurance. Ricky Seals-Jones got signed somewhere else, so that's something to also look for. But overall, I mean, on football standards alone, the tight end class is very good. Now,
Yeah,
very good.
But when it comes to fantasy, it gets
fantasy,
very weird.
we'll see.
Well, I mean, when you have 10 tight ends drafted in the first 4 rounds, yeah,
it's pretty crazy. And
Yeah.
11 within the first 5 rounds. Wait, yeah, no, 10 in the first. I can't count. But there's
Sorry, counting's hard.
Yeah, 20 tight ends overall. Like that's like there was 23 backs, there was 29 receivers, there was 20 tight ends. I find it to be very interesting that tight end is slowly becoming again the main position you really want to have.
Well, with so many 22 sets and how good it is, not only in the run game, but having them be receiving threats too, you need a good tight end. You need 2 good tight ends.
Actually,
you need a good hybrid tight end that can block. It's very good at blocking, but can also go out and, catch passes.
So that's a tangent I do want to bring up is we're kind of in this golden age of wide receiver play where you can find greatness all the way from rounds 1 through UDFA.
Well, yeah, because it's so flashy and everyone works on it.
And then there's also
and it's also based on opportunity too.
Yeah, and you have the 7-on-7 tournaments like going up in high school, so you're just way more developed. But schematically, the NFL's been really going towards 12, 13 personnel, and really going at it from that angle just because of the one, not only just having 2 bigger personnel mismatches, but you're also getting more play complexity because it can be a run or a pass and you're not stuck in 3 receiver sets. And then what does New England do in 2018? Oh, and I'll even add Baltimore to that case. You get the biggest dudes and run the ball. And that includes like tight ends there. So overall, I mean, I think we're going to get to a point, especially in fantasy, where tight end will be important just because it will be the mismatch that you need to have in order to be successful. But is that time right now? Not yet. I just see it though.
Oh, it's coming. No, it's coming for sure.
I get you.
Arthur Smith is going to usher it in.
Okay. All right. I should have just stayed quiet on it. But
no, it's okay.
As you can tell,
speaking of Arthur Smith,
Falcons fan.
John Fitzpatrick, man, what gonna be the best of the entire class?
Oh my god.
Oh boy, he
got a perfect 50 grade.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Is he gonna outdo Pitts?
Yeah, Pitts who?
Or was Pitts a 55 out of 50?
Oh, Pitts was 100 out of 50. Hayden Hurst sucks. Waste of a first round draft pick. Factor cap. Welcome back to Factor cap.
Hey man, let me.
Okay, so that's all of our tight ends.
That is all of the tight ends. So now we're transitioning to O-line, and now let's talk about why on earth are we talking about O-line in a fantasy football podcast? Needless to say,
I'll tell you.
Can I take this one?
Ryan, take it over.
All right. I am very heavy on this mindset in football that the O-line is the foundation of the team, where
forget the quarterback.
Forget the quarterback.
You don't need a running back.
You can have mediocre quarterback. You can have a mediocre quarterback that has 7 seconds to throw the ball, or have a great O-line, or have a terrible O-line and have a great quarterback that has 3 seconds to throw the ball. And I think that mediocre quarterback with 7 seconds is going to do a whole lot better than a great quarterback. That's
hot
arguable.
Take.
That's arguable.
It's a hot take.
I believe that that's the case. Now,
100 out of 100 coaches disagree with you, but that's all right. 100 out of 100 coaches will take the QB, but O-line is important.
Of course. And I'm not talking about a terrible quarterback. I'm talking about a mediocre quarterback, a quarterback that can make it into the NFL. And you've seen it. I mean, you've seen it in the NFL where a decent quarterback with a team that surrounds him that's great makes it to the Super Bowl. So who knows? But that's my take on that. So that's kind of why we're hitting up the O-line to kind of review, see the importance of the transition of people coming in, rookies coming into the NFL on the O-line and seeing their impact on these teams. So we're just going to review teams that did well last year or did terrible and see how they improve on the offensive line.
If you don't think O-line is important, look no further than a Super Bowl.
Yep.
Now that's my only point.
That was a determining factor.
Do you think the Bengals win the Super Bowl if they had a better offensive line?
Yes. Without a doubt, yes.
Especially at the point if you come with the context that Odell, Robert Woods all went down, got hurt, and then they were basically using like the cashier right outside the concession stand to be receiver. So if Joe Burrow had a second more, I think we're talking about Cincinnati's first Super Bowl.
Yep. Y'all are drunk. Let's talk about offensive linemen before I go on a rant.
Okay.
Ike Ekwonu went 6th overall to the Carolina Panthers.
Well, so let's throw it like here. This was a O-line heavy draft.
Yes.
Yep.
Starting with Ike Ekwonu.
Yes, but I think in order to kind of talk about as many people as we can in a short amount of time, gentlemen, which team improved the most?
Oh God!
In the O-line.
Ike Ekwonu, Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, we can start off Carolina.
I'm starting off with it for a reason. This is the most improved offensive line from one offseason, in my opinion. They're not the best offensive line, but they are the most improved.
They are
starting with Ike Ekwonu.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, technically, it started before that in free agency.
Well, yeah. They got Bradley Bozeman from Baltimore, but getting Icky there, it's just only
Pat Elflein.
Yeah, it's only going to help Sam Darnold actually get comfortable. It's only going to help CMC not get killed. But
even though Matt Rule's still going to run him into the ground,
probably. Oh, yeah. Side note: he also said he's not playing in any preseason games. Someone's listening, at least. But actually, a team I wanted to bring up. I'm not going to bring up Baltimore yet, but
I do love the Tyler Linderbaum pick.
Yeah, I love the Linderbaum and Filet pick and that pairing. I do want to bring up. I want to bring up though that it's a lot better than I realize it. Seattle.
Yeah.
Seattle getting crossed with the 9th pick, and then later on
Abraham Lucas.
Yeah,
the only thing that's going to be hard is they're incorporating him into their zone run scheme. I think that's the only thing with Charles Cross. The O-line as a whole is going to be good. I am worried about Charles Cross, though.
I think Cross is just a freak enough athlete to where he will adjust. Fair. My bigger issue is Abraham Lucas, largely because for a pass blocking a pass blocking tackle, how you cannot anchor your feet is beyond me.
Yeah.
So that's the only issue I have, but I like those additions to help with Drew Lock. And to at least here's what annoys me, right? How on earth are you going to get the O-line help once Russ is gone?
Yeah.
That's my only problem. That's my hey, I'm kind of
he's finally out of here. All right, let's get generational talent.
I think I understand why. It's because they knew that he could run around. He could evade. He could get out of the pocket.
No, they just hated him.
He could do all of that without having a good O-line. And that's why they just never addressed it. Is because they were just Russ will take care of himself. We'll just give him options to throw to. And that's pretty much how they went. So,
the scheme didn't help, said, the scheme
let's just work on the defense.
The scheme was a glaring hole, though. That's what I get upset at is no, it's you were just putting a blindfold over yourself and see, no problem here. But it's no, there was a clear problem. You needed O-line help. The man was getting tired of just getting killed every single day. And literally it was because someone he got hurt because of O-line. Because Aaron Donald got too close. But then again, probably Aaron Donald would have been there anyway. But
yeah, it is Aaron Donald.
But that's where it's just come on, Seattle, really? You're really going to give Drew Lock the elite tackle?
Yeah.
Pete Carroll has had his time.
Yeah.
I
don't think he's going to be there for very much longer. But Never know. They
He got
love him
his
there,
Super Bowl.
So
he did
He
get
had
his
the
Super
Legion of
Bowl.
Boom.
yep.
He did reinvent defense for a solid decade.
Yeah.
He did.
I think that's
Yep.
really impressive, especially within the era of the league that we're in
But
now.
when you stop adapting to the game, that's when
Game
you lose your
adapts
job.
you.
Yeah, exactly. And he was not changing to what his team needed, and that's what's going to cost him his job. Now
Yep.
it'll look better this year, but it's not going to matter because the future head coach is going to come in and be like, okay, I still have to work at this.
Yeah.
But beyond that, I
So-
loved the LA Chargers move as
Yes.
well. I mean, the LA Chargers have done nothing but
Zion.
improve their trenches. Yeah, I mean, I thought
Yeah.
Zion Johnson was a great pick.
And then
I
they got
didn't know too much.
Well,
about
and
him.
and they got Corey Linsley last year
Yeah.
and Rashawn Slater in the draft last year.
and
Who's
let's
an
not
all-
They're
forget
golden, man.
they got a steal in the 6th round with Jamari Sawyer. He is a plug and play, ready to go guard. And now
Well,
you
but they
have
did the same thing with Zion Johnson and Rashawn Slater. Like, oh, I love the Chargers.
Yeah.
No,
The
I
Chargers
love
killed it.
what the Chargers been doing, and they fortified their interior D line. I know they
they're
signed Morgan
looking
Fox recently.
so solid this year all
Oh, yeah.
around.
Oh, I'm
Like,
excited to
my
watch the
gosh.
Chargers. Like,
Yeah, they're honestly, I think they're going to be one of the most explosive teams out there.
people
this
haven't said that since 2005.
I know.
So enjoy it. Revel in it.
Let's see.
So, oh,
No,
I was just gonna
what-
say, I've actually been looking at the Giants as one of the most improved O lines.
Yeah, Evan Neal with the 7th pick,
think-
and then who else did they take?
Yeah.
Who else did they grab?
Well, they took Josh Izudu at guard,
Ooh,
and then
Izudu's
in
good.
this offseason they picked up Mark Glowinski at guard.
Okay, so they got some
And
depth.
I
finally.
think, yeah, they were ranked 30th last year in PFF grade. I really think they're going to be at least top 15 this
Yeah.
year.
I mean,
Just with
Evan
those
Neal's going
moves
to
that
impact
they
that a
made.
lot.
Quite the jump.
I know that's why I said it's most improved. It might not, they're not going to be the top 10, but I think they might be top 15.
Interesting.
So the most
I mean, I
improved
guess we'll
at
see.
least.
But
Yeah, we'll see.
I mean, they
Yeah.
went in
But
on
they made
Danny
a lot of
Dimes
good-
and giving him support,
Yeah.
Look, yeah,
Exactly.
they've literally said, Danny Dimes, if you don't work out, you're just not a good quarterback. I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
it's fair to say you've had a generational talent at running back. You've had you literally have I would say a good core of receivers, not great but good. And then now we're
Yeah.
finally getting the O line for you. It's now or never. And essentially, he is on the last year of his rookie deal, so we shall see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
course.
When he tripped and fell and when he had the wide open lane to go score a touchdown.
Mhm.
It's
You
never
remember
been-
the
Yeah, on his
You-
like 60-yard or 80-yard
Yeah.
run or something.
Yep.
Yeah. You remember in the original Space Jam when they all touched the basketball and lost their powers? I think that's when Danny Dimes lost his talent as a QB. He tripped himself up
He
and he
lost
went
his
down
mojo.
and he just lost his mojo
Yeah.
into the turf.
It's just been draining since Jason Garrett
Oh,
was
man.
OC.
Yeah, that probably wasn't ideal either. But
Yeah.
Danny Dimes, I think, is dead. If you have Danny Dimes in fantasy still, you
Good
probably haven't looked at your team in 3
Just-
years.
Yeah,
So that's,
I'm sorry.
it's okay.
So am I allowed to talk
Just
about
orphaned.
Baltimore?
Yeah.
All right, everybody buckle up. All right,
Everybody
let's
just-
go.
All right, let's sit
Yeah.
back.
All
All
right.
right.
Go ahead.
So all
Go
right,
ahead.
this is my workout.
Baltimore, let's
I'll
go.
be honest. The Ravens needed an O line.
Terrible
upgrade.
take.
Wow, good to know. But they needed a center, and I think they needed someone to actually be a needle mover at center, and that's definitely something I
Mhm.
think Tyler Linderbaum can be. But it's a completely different scheme fit to what the Ravens
Yeah.
have typically done. So my
Yeah.
guess is that you will see more zone runs this year, and especially with J.K. Dobbins being from a zone running scheme like
Yeah.
Ohio State, I think that actually does help. Now that just means Greg Roman has a lot more different kinds of runs that he can add into his arsenal. The
More
pick,
QB power.
yeah, more QB power as well. The pick I am more hyped about is Daniel Foley because one,
That kid has so much potential.
yes, he is literally Godzilla. I know I said it in the draft reaction episode. Trust me, it hasn't changed. He will tire people
my
out.
gosh.
He's only going to get better. And he's played right tackle his entire life. There's no need for him to feel like he has to switch to left tackle like Orlando Brown Jr. I think the Ravens have literally found their future right tackle. They already this also means this is a good like bill of health, hopefully, for Ronnie Stanley to come back and be the elite left tackle we all know him to be.
Right.
Left guard is still up for debate and up for grabs, but we're kind of hoping Ben Cleveland improves. But then you go Linderbaum, Zeitler still really solid, and then you sign Morgan Moses earlier in the offseason. That O-line is entirely kind of rebuilt, and I think you're going to see a resurgence within the Ravens offense this year.
Yeah, no, they're going to be solid. I think they're going to be very solid.
Yeah.
Maybe top 12, I would say. Top 14, somewhere in there.
I can see that range.
So, I mean, I love them. I love the Linderbaum pick. If Atlanta had another first round pick, I would have gone up and gotten him, plugged him in at left guard, and hopefully been better. But yeah, I love the pick. And I love Foley. I love his potential. God, he's just so freaking big.
He's huge.
He's so big. But I think he can really develop into an elite player in the NFL. But again, like everything else, we gotta wait till it actually gets going to see.
Yeah. I know. So I mean, let's talk about New England here. Just because everyone kind of crapped on the pick earlier, how are we feeling about the Cole Strange selection? 2-3 weeks removed from the draft.
It's the Belichick phenomenon.
I still think he was taken too early. But I mean, if Belichick sees something in him, then cool. He's got big shoes to fill with the loss of Shaq Mason. So and Ted Karras or Karras, whatever his name was.
Oh, Karras,
they lost both of their interior line.
I forgot about that.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going from like a great offensive line to their interior has now a lot of holes. So he's got big shoes to fill, and we'll see how it goes. That's my take on it.
I mean, it'll be interesting. I thought he was talented. I don't know about first round talented, but again, I'll give Belichick the first round.
I give Belichick benefit of the doubt.
Pass.
I'm pretty sure he would have been taken mid-second though.
Oh yeah,
so
for sure.
I can make the justification for the 29th overall pick.
They can joke about how we thought he was going to be there at pick 120. And it's like, yeah, okay, well, sure, you can believe that if you want.
Yeah. But there's no way.
There's just a huge gap. Yeah, of course. And some people value
he would not, but
some people value it or value, what he has more than others. So
yeah,
I believe that.
And especially
interesting.
I think it doesn't really matter where he was picked right now, because he hasn't played a snap in the NFL. Now, after this year, we'll really figure out whether it was a good pick or not.
Yeah. I think New England's still going to be pretty good. I think they need wide receiver help, but I think their trenches are going to be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
not anything crazy, but
yeah. So finally, kind of recapping the O-line, who do you think is the most improved in the O-line? And who do you think is the least improved or needs a lot of work or you have giant question marks about?
Carolina is for sure most improved.
Cincy, if you don't include the draft, I would say.
I think least improved Buccaneers.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Even with Shaq Mason?
Even with Shaq Mason.
Through the draft.
Oh, through the draft.
Least
I
improved.
See. Oh, they took Godeke.
Yeah, but he's going to be a backup there with their lineup. True. He's going to be a backup.
Yeah, I don't believe in Tampa Bay. You lost a lot. You lost a lot. If you're Tampa Bay and you didn't do.
So
they lost their left guard,
left and right guard,
left and right guard,
left and right guard, and then got
Shaq Mason.
What's his name? Shaq Mason, who
and then,
was high PFF grade.
No, Shaq Mason is an incredible guard. So they replaced one, but now how do you replace the other?
That's true.
Right. Which are we thinking that's Godeke or are we thinking that's someone else?
I don't think it's Godeke. Not right off the bat. I don't even know who they're going to put in there.
Yeah,
if it's going to come down to camp.
It's saying
it will.
I'm just like looking up some articles on it, and they're saying that like Aaron Stinney, don't really know who that is.
Yeah, that's telling you how well it's going to go.
Yeah, that's true, but that's one hole. The rest of the offensive line is solid.
Yeah. I think
they could pick up somebody else this offseason though.
There's 3 teams that pop out to me as far as most improved, if you including the draft. Carolina's 1, Baltimore's 1. I think you can make the argument for Seattle as well, and then the Chargers for sure.
Oh yeah, Chargers are up there for me. They're probably number 3 for most improved.
Yeah,
in terms of like offensive line.
Yeah, overall, yes. My gosh.
I mean, the Giants did improve too, but I mean, it's still the Giants.
I think it's a lot of reshuffling for the Giants though, because I think
the Giants, I think they went from being very bad to being decent. Upper mediocre.
Because I think you're going to move Andrew Thomas from left tackle. I'm assuming.
No,
and then that's move Evan Neal. I still think Andrew Thomas is really solid. I just think he's just going to be way better if he's not a left tackle.
Yeah.
Where I think Evan Neal can be that dude though at the left tackle spot.
Yeah, that elite takeover, protect the blind side. Yeah.
Yeah, and then
definitely.
And then we'll see how else like New York kind of fills it out. The Jets really didn't. Did the Jets do much on the O-line this year?
Not a whole lot, no.
I don't think so. Because I know, they took
Max Mitchell.
They didn't free agency
round.
Who they take in free agency?
Let me pull it up.
I know this is mainly supposed to be the draft, but you really have to combine.
Okay. It's a combination
and the draft. Yeah, you really do.
They got Elijah Vera Tucker last year.
And is Mekhi? What's wrong with Mekhi Becton? We'll have to we'll have to talk to somebody to figure that out because that's been a whole interesting.
They got Lake and Tomlinson.
Oh, yeah, that's the big one. Yes, okay, so they improved heavily. So Max Mitchell could be there to replace George Fant.
Right.
That's probably what it is. Okay, so they have a solid O-line then.
Yeah, I mean it's not bad. I don't think. They also signed Dan Franey, which is just depth.
Okay.
But...
yeah.
It looks like they have a fairly solid line.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's pretty good. Jets are gonna die week 1, but man, after that, who knows?
Honestly, I wouldn't put it past Michaela to draft an O lineman in our rookie draft.
I hope not.
I don't even think you can.
She's gonna find a way. We're gonna look at our roster and it's gonna say Evan Neal. And we're gonna be like, Michaela,
you can't.
What did you do?
It's a need protection for Patrick Mahomes.
So he's not in the app.
So, guys, I think that is our tight end and O-line. Guys, all right, first off, this has been crazy, especially with rookie week going on. The next episode you will see is us figuring out the big board, and we are going to be basically ranking all the rookies here. And it's going to be
see a lot of wide receivers.
You're going to see a lot of wide receivers. You'll probably see a sprinkle of running backs, quarterbacks, tight ends maybe there, and then O-line especially. We do consider it to be such an important piece to the fantasy puzzle that they will be included in there. So, guys, this has been such a fun kind of experience to kind of go through and scouting the entire rookie draft class. We do want to thank you all for giving us your time, listening to us just talk ball, which is kind of our favorite thing to do. Don't forget, find us on YouTube. You're probably watching us right now, but don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you have any fancy questions, feel free to comment. We will definitely answer as much as we can. And then you can find us on Spotify, Anchor, Apple Podcasts. Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, our Facebook page as well. I am Josh. That is Ethan. And that is Ryan. And we will see you tomorrow figuring out the big board.
Bye.